Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. My name is Nathan and today we're going to talk about how to deal with difficult people. This is honestly one of the most challenging subjects that I have to work on and I still work on today. So today we're going to cover just 5 basic points of things that I use throughout the day, throughout my life, and things that I've noticed that have helped me and things that I've learned from my mentors about how to deal with difficult people. Because I'm telling you, you will always have difficult people throughout your life, whether it's coworkers, peers, managers, your spouse, girlfriends, kids. They will always be in your life, and learning these basics will save you a lot of distress and discomfort as you're growing throughout your life. Point 1 is probably the one that I always start with a lot of the subjects that you'll see on the channel, which is analyze yourself. You first have to analyze why you're feeling a certain way. Is this situation reality or is this just something that you're perceiving? I'm not saying you can't defend yourself. I'm not saying someone may have came out of line to you. What I'm saying is take the time to look at and ask yourself certain questions. Why is this bothering me? Why does this person bother me? Ask yourself key questions and then check and balance yourself. Ask somebody you trust, your friends, your spouse, significant other, anything. Ask someone that you trust to say, hey, I'm looking at it this way. What do you think? And then, again, engage in that conversation with them for make sure you are making the right things. Now, if that person is being very disrespectful and they are being very malicious towards you, then you need to stand up for yourself. But first of all, before you get out of line and you want to act a certain way, take the time to analyze the full scope of the situation. And sometimes it's not going to be right after, or even definitely not during the incident. Take some time to think about it, digest, let your emotions calm down, so you can come at this a logical way and understand how to come to a solution, not just defend yourself. Point number 2, we need to focus on reflecting respect and dignity. Again, just because someone treats you a certain way, it's not a reflection of you, it's a reflection of them. So you have to understand that even in the most highest tense situations, and I know it's hard, especially when it comes to loved ones or people you care about, or even just something you truly value. It's going to be very hard if someone's disrespecting you or treating you like crap. So we need to focus on, again, remember, calm down, get that stature, remain that positivity, right? And I know it's hard. It's easy to be like, oh, I know, Nathan, it's really easy. You say it, you're not in a situation. True. But you need to be conscientious of taking that time to reflect who you are, not how you're being treated. There's a big difference between the two, and we have to be able to decipher between them. And like I said, you can back away from the situation. Once you say a word, you can't take it back. So one thing I've done is I know I'm getting irritated. I will remove myself from the situation if possible. However, there will be times that you can't. This is where you have to be able to have that foundation of maintaining your emotional regulation and your emotional intelligence to help calm yourself down in that situation before you don't escalate it even farther than it has to be. Again, you can still disagree with somebody or you can hold them accountable, but you don't have to be disrespectful. You can get your point across even better if you're level-headed versus if you're emotional. Take a time to think about when you were arguing with somebody. Emotions are extremely high. You know how hard it is to formulate your words and get it through to them? However, when you calm down, you're like, man, that would have been good to say. That would have been good. But again, it's because you're calm down and you have time to think about it versus in the moment. So take that time to make sure that what you're presenting is what you want to receive. Point number 4, which is honestly one of the hardest things to do, is to listen, to understand, not to reply. Again, if you're dealing with a difficult person, the best thing you can do is take the time to try to listen to what they are upset about, what they are coming at you about. Your job, remember, you're here to be the level-headed one. You're here the one to try to de-escalate the situation. Again, both of you are not going to feel validated if you are not listening to understand versus listening to reply. I catch myself doing this all the time, so I hurry up when I give a quick answer or fix a problem. Again, a lot of these conversations and misconstrueds come from is people are listening to reply, not to understand. Again, your goal is to make sure you can take the time for that individual and say, okay, this is why they're upset. Now we need to address this, all right? We can't fix everything all at once. So we need to break it down into chunks. Me, I like to break it down from the first thing, Work on that. Handle that, and then move on to the second concern. I don't like to blend everything together because I'm trying to make one point here and then validate, hey, do you understand what I'm saying? I understand what you're saying. And yes, I know this might seem very, very easy, but it's extremely hard when your emotions are through the roof. Point 4 and point 5 are going to be together, right? One, you need to learn from them. Learn from everything. Focus on the positives from that conversation and focus on the negatives. Mainly for you. How did you handle it? How did you react? Well, how did they react? What did you learn from that encounter? Everything we can learn from, whether it be a great encounter, like everyone's vibing, you have great friends, great work life. But one of the biggest things we can learn from is where it was the most painful. For me, one of the things I know that I had to break a habit of was I wanted to hurry up and get what I had out. I wanted to say it, even if they were explaining. I'm like, yeah, but I can explain it. Let me tell you. Hold on. I'm not to interrupt you. But that's the problem. I was listening to reply to them rather than trying to really understand where they're coming from. And then the last point is there will always be difficult people. And the more you can focus on learning how to manage difficult people, that's the key. Learning how to manage your emotions and manage dealing with difficult people will be the way that you move through life a lot less painful. Whether it be with your spouse, your kids, work life, I promise you that if you focus on the basics of being able to analyze how you're feeling and what's going on, trying to listen to understand rather than to reply, then always reflecting respect and dignity no matter how someone else is treating you. Those key fundamentals will give you the ability to take conversations and involve it and to de-escalate someone that may be considered difficult. Maybe they don't feel validated. Maybe they don't feel heard. And you can help guide them through it. There's a big difference between someone being difficult and someone being disrespectful. There's two different concepts that we have to work on. All right, if someone's being disrespectful, then you need to stand up for yourself. You need to draw your line, hey, this is not okay with me. Now, you can do that in a very respectful manner. Now, if someone is difficult, you have one or two options. You can either remove that person from your life, or you try to take that person and you try to help them through it. Now, in certain circumstances, we can't get rid of them, and I know that. If it's your work peer, if it's your manager, right? We know those will be difficult situations you can't from. But if you focus on the basics, I promise you it will get better. Again, can't thank you guys enough. Hope you enjoyed the video. Drop a like if you like it. Drop a dislike if you don't. I'll see you guys in the next one.